Hello viewers, just doing a little post-race commentary on a race I had last night in the Skip Barber series at Imola. Turned out to be a pretty good race. I completely screwed up my qualifying laps, so I started right at the back of the grid, car number 7, starting in 17th. Kind of, I think we made it one place in the first corner there. A couple of cars having contact just to our right. I think that becomes a freebie in a moment.
On your right.
Yeah, we're past him.
Clear.
All about just keeping the car clean and safe at this point of the race. Want to make sure I get into the race without too many incident points. A good run on this car here.
Side. Still there. You're
Up the inside of Christopher.
Still there. Clear.
Again, I'm being very cautious. Gave him loads of room on the exit if he wanted it. If he wanted to hang it out running outside, I wasn't going to stop him. Normally come into this corner in 4th gear, but we're in the first lap. Drop down to 3rd. Again, just being cautious. Caution is the name of the game on the first lap. Pink car caught me out a little bit there, how early he braked. I do probably go through there quite quickly compared to some guys. Again, making sure early on the brakes. Pink has a little wiggle.
Front of you. Middle of the
Pick up another freebie there. Good exit, using all that curb. I know some people don't like
on your left.
how much curb you have to run in this track, or on this track, but
Clear.
you got to do it. If you don't, others will. So we gained the place there on the heath. He didn't put up much of a fight. So 1 lap down, we've moved up, I think 5 positions, so it's not too bad. Now we've got a nice little gaggle of cars up ahead, all kind of slowing each other down. Still making sure I'm ultra cautious.
One on the right.
And the guy at the front loses it, that slows everyone down.
Clear him.
Still being cautious, patience. I think there I just gave them a bit extra room because I saw them going side by side. I anticipated that they may have a wreck between each other, which they do there. A minor wreck anyway. So I'm just, again, a bit more contact between the two of them.
Left side. Still there.
But generally, if you can get up the inside of that chicane,
Clear.
the other car is pretty much stupid if they don't give you the right of way. It's pretty much a 1-car chicane, so although I have been through it too wide in the past, it's definitely not recommended. Again, using all those curbs, maximise the exit speed. Nice run on the orange car.
Right side.
We've got a bit of an overspeed here, and this guy moves nicely, to be quite honest,
Still there.
to give us some more draft. So we'll take that and we'll
Still there.
take them both.
Clear.
Made sure I got early on the brakes so we can make the call now. Run a bit wide there, but no damage done. A little bit wide here as well. Pick up 1 times, but instant points are there to be used. think that is actually the only instant point I do pick up in this race, so. I never, well, very rarely race for safety rating. If I'm going to do that at all, it'll be in kind of week 12 or 13. And people say it's impossible to do that in week 13, but it's not. You can, if you know what you're there for, and you're there just for safety, it's quite easy just to toot around and pick up your points. So now we've got a 1.8 second gap up to John, who is a car number 3, so that suggests he's got some pace. I'm car number 7, so at this point it's like just time to put the foot down, put some good laps in, close that gap. It's funny, I was actually watching Sebastian Job running on, he was streaming on Twitch earlier in the week. And it is something I'd recommend to everyone. Just, I mean, no doubt people watching my videos kind of do it as well, but if you just watch other people drive, particularly their pedal inputs, watch how much throttle they're putting on, how much brake they're putting on, kind of try and learn their lines, and that does help. I mean, I watched one race of Sebastian's on, I think, was it Monday night? I forget when it was. Might have been Sunday night. But I instantly saw something. I'm not going to say what it was because it's not going to help me. But I instantly saw something where I thought, yep, okay, there I can see that I'm losing time, or that's a better way of taking a particular corner. That's what you got to do. I'd even recommend to people go in and watch other races. Watch the top split races if you're not in the top splits yourself. So we've closed the gap down to 0.9 at this point on John. So we are closing the gap. He done a 205.8, we done a 205.1 last lap. Massively gained on him through that chicane. Obviously I'm looking at this, seeing John in number 3, so I always want to be ahead of the lower car numbers if possible, because that's going to score me more iRating. I mean, basically you want to be ahead of everyone. Now we're into the drafting range.
On your right.
Should make it under braking.
All clear.
Again, I'm braking early. I actually backed out of that a little bit. Again, sticking to my plan of being cautious.
One on the right.
I was confident, relatively confident at least in my pace. Again here, I've kind of backed out of this. I've given him all the room he needs.
Left side. Still there. Still there.
So I've got a good run out that corner.
Still there.
Just try and hold it around the outside here. Ran a bit wide again. Want to make sure I'm giving him room, but he returned the favour on that corner, gave me room.
Good job.
And now, quite frankly, on these two corners, it is a single car kind of part of the track. You really are being hopeful if you want to get around there side by side with someone. So we make the pass, clean pass. through the chicane, and now our next target is that little gaggle of cars up ahead. Already at this point though, we are up 8 positions on our starting grid. Again, now it becomes a bit of a time trial. Go into kind of hot lapping mode. Still got to worry about John behind me at this point. He's right on my backside. But I think he was...
Clear.
He chose to go around the outside there, but that was never going to happen, to be quite honest. I'm not honestly too sure what happened to him, but he dropped backwards. I might have run him a bit wide there, but
Watch the car.
as I say, he was never going around the outside in that corner.
Port. Keep going, keep going.
Nice freebie there.
Side.
One freebie becomes 2 freebies. Always take a freebie. Ride those curbs. Again, you've really got to maximise the track on this track. Use all the road. It's whether you like it or not, and some people will call it track extending and that. But if everyone else is doing it, you got to do it yourself. If you're not getting punished for it, you've really got to. So now we're down to 0.9 behind Alexander, our next target. We're up plus 11 positions from our starting position. 6th place in car number 7. So at this point, I'm sort of at a point where I'm happy with my result. If it was to finish now, we're going to be gaining iRacing.
Still there.
Good run.
Still there. Still
On the
there.
inside,
Door
this is probably one of the
clear.
dodgiest corners, that left hand, right hand section. Difficult to get the car slowed down and not lose the back end. You really got to make sure you're applying the brakes when you're steering straight. Try and carry as much momentum as possible through that corner. Probably one of the slowest corners on the track. Poor old engine getting a beating in the downshifts on that corner. Got to be done though. Thomas Curious at the front there, putting in a good lap, 204.7.
5 to go. Attaboy, go get him, man.
6 tenths quicker than me on that lap. So Again, using all those curbs. You can really see me struggling on that corner to get there. Such a fine line between getting the car downshifted and losing the back end. For me it is anyway. So right into P5 right now. Got 4 laps to go after this one. And Craig has run wide, which has given us a great opportunity. Again, what I was talking about earlier with the car numbers, Craig is car number 1, so it's does definitely make it a car that we want to beat. If you can't beat every car, at least beat all of the low numbered cars. So we're always going to have a massive run on him into the turn 1.
Still there. Clear. Stay on him, bud. He'll make a mistake. You'll get him.
Four laps to go. Getting a bit wide and definitely a little bit ragged through that section. I think in general this, again, getting ragged. Feeling the pressure of Craig right on my backside. Not to mention Alexander also back there. Being extra careful through here to make sure I maximise the exits. Picked up 1 times, but we can live with that. If I don't get good exits on any of these corners, which I didn't there to be quite honest, but then I could come under pressure from Craig, so that's all I'm thinking about here. Speed through the corner is not so important. It's obviously we're always trying to go as fast as we can, but again, losing the back end there, that didn't help my exit, and I think we're going to come under attack from Craig here. See him in my rear view mirror. At this point he was weaving left and right, and it's quite distracting, particularly with the Oculus Rift, because I've got to look left and right to kind of work out exactly where he is. When I was running on monitors, I used to use the virtual mirror, so you can kind of, it's not an issue using the actual proper mirrors. It is just another kind of added realism, I guess you could call it. But the fact that he didn't go for me in that, on that front straight, did give me the extra belief that he was happy with my speed and kind of probably happy to sit there until maybe the last lap. So it gave me a bit more confidence just to push on in my own lap times, knowing that he's not going to make a stupid lunge down the inside at any corner. Does help you go quick when you trust the car behind you, or at least go quicker. So now we are definitely closing on Pierre up ahead. I don't know if he had a bad lap this lap.
Two more.
Gap behind's at 0.6, so we're quite happy with that. I think at this point last lap it was about 0.3. Right now it's just about pumping in a lap. Kind of probably accepted. We're not going to catch Pierre up ahead unless he makes some kind of mistake. I'm more thinking about protecting what I've got at this point, to be quite honest. So I've got a good line through the chicane. Gap behind now up to 1.0 seconds for the first time. It's always a kind of like almost like a landmark when you get a 1 second gap behind. You know you're kind of extending the gap.
Coming to the white flag this time.
So that was a good lap from me. 2.4.3 was actually the fastest lap of the race by anyone. By almost, I think it was about 4.5 tenths quicker than anyone else. So I certainly had some good pace on that lap. In here I am pushing. I was actually pushing kind of half for 203. Always want to push for the next, to get inside the next minute lower. Or sorry, next second lower. At the same point, at this point I'm starting to admit it's not going to happen as far as Pierre up ahead goes. I did some laps with him in practice, and I knew from that he's pretty quick, so I had more knowledge on Pierre's kind of pace than anyone else on the grid, to be honest. So now we're just coming into the final couple of corners. Been a very good race. Starting 17th. Gained 13 positions up. Going to finish 4th. Fastest lap to boot. pretty good race all in all. As always guys, hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share the video, and until next time, I will see you later. Bye.